guys? Hope you are well. So this video, I'm not gonna call it a lesson really. This is something that I'm practicing and I wanna share with you guys. So it's titled What to Practice. So maybe if you don't know what to practice, then you can practice this. So this one's about the Herta. Hertas have always kind of scared me because you always hear them, but unless you really study them and understand what's going on, you kind of don't exactly know how to play them. I feel like you can kind of fake it, but it's probably not gonna sound right. So I've kind of been faking it this whole time. So I'm gonna take the time to really study what it is, what's going on, how I can morph it and change it up, and hopefully implement it into my playing vocabulary. So this is kind of what I'm working on now. The way I'm thinking of it is, actually when I think of drumming as a whole, I always imagine like a piece of graph paper. And on this piece of graph paper, we have all these slots where our notes are supposed to go. So let's take the Herta and let's simplify it, okay? So for the sake of this video, kind of forget everything you know about the Herta. We're not gonna think about it as a rudiment. We're gonna think of it as something entirely different. So we're gonna take one beat of 16th notes, which is gonna give us 4 notes. Now we're gonna think of this Herta as an extra little 30-second note that we can kind of pop in there between the 16th notes. So if this were the case, how many different options of the Herta can we create? 4. We can place the Herta between the 1 and the E. We can place it between the E and the and. We can place it between the and the and we can place it between the and the downbeat. So this is kind of how I'm thinking of it. I'm thinking, okay, we have 4 exercises here. 4 different sounding Hertas, you know, whether it's off the 1, or it's off the and, or the E. So I'm trying to get comfortable with playing those options. So let's sit at the kit and I'll kind of run through these options, okay? So let's take the first one, where that Herta is gonna be off the downbeat. So it's gonna go 1 E and 1 E and Let's hear how it sounds on the kit. Okay, for the second displacement, it's going to be off the E. 1 E and Okay, the third displacement, it's going to be off the and. 1 E and And now the fourth displacement, it's going to be off the and into the downbeat. 1 E and 1 E and So now what I've been working on is basically putting a kick at the beginning of that Herta, just to kind of give it some low end, you know? Sometimes if you're playing everything on the toms and the snare, it just sounds too high or something, you know? You gotta add the kick in there somewhere. So I was trying to think, where can I put this kick drum that feels comfortable to me? It's always at the beginning of that Herta pattern. So basically now what I'm doing is replacing the first note of that Herta pattern with a kick. So it's gonna be kick ba 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 ba, kick ba 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 ba. And what I'm doing also is accenting those 2 last notes. So kick, ghost, ghost, accent, accent, kick, ghost, ghost, accent, accent. And just from trial and error, I kind of found out that that's what felt comfortable to me. When you kind of bring it up to speed, that pattern kind of flows in a way that I just discovered that was comfortable for me. So for all of these kick displacements, I've kept it so that it starts with the right hand. So every time you're playing it, no matter what the pattern is, your hands are always going to be going right, left, left. No matter where the kick is, the pattern with your hands is going to be right, left, right, left. And I did this so that it's always repeating with the right hand. So no matter what displacement you're playing, your right hand is going to be the dominant hand. And for me, that's the most comfortable. Obviously, if you're Thomas Lang, you'll do it off the left hand too, but that's a whole nother freaking story. There's not enough time. Not enough time. So it's always going to be right, left with your hands. When we throw the kick in there, it's going to shift the notes around a bit, but the sequence of notes will always be right hand, left hand, left hand. So for the first ones, kick, right, left. The second one, right, kick, left. Still right, left, but the kick was thrown in there. Okay, the third one, right, left, kick, left. The last one, right, kick, left, kick, left. So that's kind of just the way that I set it up for myself. So for this first one, we're gonna put the kick on the downbeat, so the 1. So the pattern's gonna go kick, right, left. Let's take it to the kit. So now what I've been trying to do is orchestrate my hands around the kit while playing these types of Herta patterns, okay? So for this first one, or actually for all of them, I'm basically replacing those 2 ghost notes with toms. So instead of, say, kick, right, left, we'll go kick, right, left. And you kind of want to accent the toms a bit so they stick out. So that's kind of what I've been trying to do. So like, kind of stuff like that. Just trying to move my hands around while playing that pattern and see what feels comfortable. Okay, the second displacement, so the kick is going to be on the E. So we're going to start with that accent, that right hand accent. Right, kick, left. Right, kick, left. Same thing. I'm just gonna mess around and try and move my hands around and see kind of what works. We basically should be able to play the same patterns because it's the same lick, but we're just displacing it across the grid. So it's all about how you're thinking of it in your head. So in doing these displacements, I like to think, am I playing the Herta off the downbeats? Am I playing it off the E? Am I playing it off the and or off the And that's kind of gonna tell me how they sound. So if it's off the downbeat, it's if it's off the E, then there's going to be 1 hit, 1/16th note, and then you're going to go for the Herta. So it's going to be. So maybe you can move that first right hand around. Maybe the first note and the last note. I don't know. This third one, the kick is going to be on the and, so it's going to go right, left, kick, right, left. 1, E, and So while I'm exploring, I just kind of think in limbs. Like, I'm gonna leave my hand on the rack tom and see what it sounds like. And you kind of get used to that sound because you're training your ears while doing this. This is what I'm figuring out. You can play it fine in one place, and then for some reason when you move your hand somewhere else and it sounds different, you're hitting a different surface, your brain kind of freaks out. You're like, what's going on? So just to get comfortable with how it sounds and feels around the kit, I'll sit there with my right hand on the floor tom, internalize the sound for a bit, and then maybe move my left hand to the rack tom, see how it sounds on all the toms. I'm just trying to explore and just see what it sounds like and what it feels like. And the fourth one, the kick is going to be on the right, kick left, right, kick left. 1, E, and Let's try it. God, that one's weird. So we can do this same thing with triplets, right? So instead of 4 notes that we can fill in the spaces, there's 3 notes. So instead of thinking of this as like a Herta, maybe we can think of it as like Herta 4s, or Herta 3s, or Herta 5s, 7s, 9s, 13 and a halves, whatever. So I'm kind of trying to think of them as like number sequences, you know? So we got 3 notes to fill. 1 triplet. So what would the first displacement be? Let's throw a Herta in between the 1 and the trip. So let's make a 5 lick with the Herta. Okay, so let's just start with 5 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's this gonna sound like? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's add the kick. Move to the tom, maybe. Maybe I'm gonna do 2 lefts at the end. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's try in the groove. Seven. Okay, let's do this. This will be cool. So say we want to make a group of 7. Let's take a group of 3 and a group of 4. So we'll do a Herta 3 and a Herta 4, and that'll give us a group of 7. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So we can create all these freaking patterns and just think of Hertas in that way, like a Herta 3, Herta 4, 5, and then I guess my ultimate goal is to have like ultimate vocabulary freedom with the freaking Herta and not have to think about those numbers anymore and just play it when I want to. So that's kind of basically how I'm thinking about this. I'm also practicing this in triplets, also trying like groups of 4 in triplets. So 1 triplet, but you got 4 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, like a 4-note Herta pattern in triplets. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, kind of like that. I feel like once you get the Herta down, it kind of unlocks this whole dimension in the drum world, because you're kind of mixing subdivisions, and I feel like my playing right now is very boxy, like I'm either in 16th notes or I'm either in 6-tuplets. You know, there's no like in between. But the Hertas kind of unlock that little sporadic extra note in there. It's like I'm not just in 16th notes. Boom, there's a freaking 30-second note in there that you didn't even see coming. I think that's dope. So yeah, that's basically it. That's kind of what I'm working on at the moment. I know sometimes when I'm trying to think of things to practice, it seems kind of daunting at times. Like there's so many things to practice, but for some reason when we sit down at the kit it's like you suddenly just don't know what to practice. So hopefully this video may inspire you to practice something. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Also, if you haven't yet, check out my website, brandonscottdrums.com. There's some cool lessons on there, some cool extra material. And if you do check out the website, you can sign up for free and you'll get a 30-minute lesson on the paradiddle. So we basically take the paradiddle and change it up and displace it and move accents and add notes and just make it something new. So really cool lesson for free, brandonscottdrums.com. Thanks for watching the non-lesson, whatever it is, what I'm practicing. What to practice. Thanks for watching What to Practice. Brandon Scott Drums, out.